Hi guys, this is Vidas,
And Osha.
and let's start episode 45 of Ask Vidas and Osha podcast. And today's question was sent by Pat. He writes that the thing that is holding him back in order to achieve his organ playing goal is basically time, finding time without interruptions, the lack of which causes him to be discouraged at his ability to regain his skill. And he writes also that our lessons are what is giving him exactly what he needs. Any extra help for rusty students would be most appreciated. Thank you. So this means that our suggestions to Pat are helpful, right?
I hope so.
And this is really good news that people are taking action and applying our tips in their practice. Because if we just talk about those intricate details and nobody, pays attention and does the thing in their practice, that it's a waste of time.
Sure. And I think so, about finding practice time. This is a lifelong struggle, I think, for everybody.
I think what it comes down to is developing a habit, developing a small good habit, one at a time, over a long period of time, of finding time, making time, right? And do you agree with this, Osha?
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
Well, for example, regular practice is just like any other activity that we do every day, right? Hopefully every day. And when you make the time every day, just a little bit, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you find in your day, then over time it becomes easier and easier.
Definitely. And it should be a part of your routine, just like, cleaning, brushing your teeth, or taking a shower, or, eating 3 times a day. So should be become the organ practice. Sometimes, of course, it could be a problem if you don't have an instrument at home. Then, if you have to go somewhere to play, to perform, to practice, it might be, an extra trouble. What
And
do you think about it?
I agree with you, of course, and I also think that it takes about 2 months to build a habit, maybe more, a little bit. I've read some place that it takes 67 days to build this any type of habit you want, good or bad habit, but you definitely want to build a good habit.
Well, I think, to build up a bad habit, to develop a bad habit, I think it takes shorter time than, to develop a good habit.
So for Pat and everyone else listening and struggling with finding time, is it's a good news, because you have to only persevere for 2 months, maybe 67 days, and then after that it's just downhill.
And I also think, that at the beginning you might practice for a shorter period of times, if it's hard for you to find time, or, you are too lazy to play for a long time, let's say. So start, for example, with like 20 minutes or half an hour, and later on you will add more time.
Exactly, it's like with exercising, it's like with running, for example. Some people want to run marathon, but you never start with marathon, right? You start with maybe 15 minutes or 10 minutes, or maybe just walking around your block, and that would be enough for starters, don't you think?
Yes, and you also should, find out what type of person you are, morning person or night person. And, the best would be to practice when you are the most productive.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people are, like owls. We just, can stay very long at night and work and do things. And some are, only working in the mornings.
For example, myself, I sort of feel very much refreshed in the morning. I can practice starting from 8 o'clock, and I can do a quality job until around maybe noon, with interruptions, with breaks, of course, frequent breaks. But these 4 hours every day, it's like my golden time. What about you, Osha?
I would say probably the same with me, but I'm not very, hardworking in the morning because it's quite hard for me to get up very early. For example, 6 o'clock in the morning is a nightmare for me, but that's what I have to do. 7:30 is the best time for me to get up.
Yeah, it's always light at 7:30, winter or summer, and you feel refreshed.
But of course, if you have to work late hours, I realized that exercises helps me a lot, like physical exercises. Going to a gym or to a swimming pool, it gives me an extra energy, and it prolongs my day.
That's, I think, very good idea to advise for people to do some form of exercise also every day, in addition to your hobby or professional training like organ playing. Do some kind of physical activity that gets you a little bit sweaty, right? Elevates your heartbeat. It doesn't have to be very long, right, Osha?
Sure, especially at the beginning.
Maybe 15 minutes, or even if you like doing, I don't know, push-ups, do a set of push-ups to get you exhausted, and you feel much better after that. But of course, you have to warm up. Don't hurt yourself.
Sure, we don't want you to hurt yourself.
Great. So back to this question of finding time for organ playing, but Pat is also struggling with time without interruptions. I can guess that, for example, family obligations or his job obligations also kind of tend to interrupt him, right? When he gets back to from home, from work, to he thinks that, oh, I have lots of things to do, right? A lot of maybe stressful situations over the day, and this sort of interrupts his quality practice.
Well, then just try not to do your organ practice as a meditation, some sort of meditation, which would calm you down and you could relax during your practice. Don't make it as another job. Make it as a pleasure.
What do you mean when you contrast job and pleasure? What are they different? How they are different?
Oh, we are very different.
Let's take organ playing, of course. How would you imagine a work or job in terms of organ playing?
Well, when you do routine work, for example, you work in church, and you have to play all those service stuff, maybe hymns that you not like all the time, and to play them over and over again. This might be a routine. And when you are learning new music and it's exciting, and this could be like a pleasure.
You have like responsibilities,
Sure,
right?
sure.
And you don't necessarily love those responsibilities. Maybe you need to do them to fulfill your duties, but they're not your sweet spot.
Sure.
And for pleasure, as an organist, you would love to do some other things, like what?
Maybe to improvise or learn new pieces that are maybe not so suitable for liturgy.
Good advice. I think you have to alternate, right? If you are serious about your organ playing future and your goals, you definitely need to think about deadlines, right? Set yourself a deadline, maybe learn a piece or two and perform in public.
Yes.
But that's a responsibility. And for the pleasure part would be like Osha says, improvise a little bit, play what you definitely love, maybe your favorite organ piece that lets you enjoy it and maybe relax.
Yes, and I hope that these tips will help you, to find time to practice and enjoy it.
And of course, guys, let us know how you apply those tips in practice this week, and send us more questions. And the best way to do this is by subscribing to our blog at organduo.lt if you haven't done so, and then just simply replying to our messages. Wonderful. This was Vidas.
And Ausra,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.